So I believe we are live. So let's see. So what is it? Yeah. Good morning to those to the west of me and good afternoon those to the east of me. So let's see. It's great to have you, Lydia. Great to have you, Jake and GW and Vitali and Joan Lim and Slipknot. That's great. Okay, so George Washington, transitive means it has a direct object. So, I don't know, I eat the apple. The apple is the direct object. So, the apple is what I eat, that's transitive. But if I say I eat without a direct object, that's intransitive, okay? And that's the idea, GW, of transitive and intransitive. So, good afternoon, Manisco. Good morning, Boris. This is brilliant. I love it. Okay. Yeah, that's much better, Lydia. I love it like that. So, yes, and hi there, Natalia, as well, and Slipknot. So, we were doing this article about, yes, accent bias, how people have, make bad conclusions or negative conclusions, or they discriminate against people who have non-standard accents. And well, we've almost finished. Here, rise is intransitive and raise is transitive. Exactly. My hand rises. I raise the pen. Okay, yes, it was mocking that. So let's start this one. I think we've only got 2 or 3 left to do. Yes, that was it. That was it, Natalia. Okay, so let's start this first question. It's coming any second now, I hope. Yes, here it comes. And he was reminded this early experience wasn't an isolated incident when he detected, spotted, realized, observed a recent viral tweet by a Welsh woman who reported being turned away, turned off, turned down, turned apart, turned out for a job because of her accent. Okay, so now we get to start. This is good. Let me read it again. And he was reminded of this, and he was reminded this early experience wasn't an isolated incident when he detected, spotted, realized, observed a recent viral tweet by a Welsh woman who was reported being turned away, off, down, apart, out, for a job because of her accent. Okay, so we're starting to get some answers. Good morning, no, you're afternoon. You're definitely east of me. Good afternoon, Ronan. Okay, so let's see. Vitali says spotted, and so does Natalia. And then Vitali says down. Jake says realized and down. Ronan says spotted and turned down. Slipknot says turned down. Okay, this looks quite good. This looks quite easy. Okay, so let's see. To observe means to watch. To watch for a time. So I observed the bird eating the bread. To realize is when something you suddenly understand something. Okay, so I suddenly realized that it was later than I had thought. To detect is like you investigate and you come to a conclusion. So Natalia says down, Lydia goes observed and turned down, Natalia goes turned down, refused. And Patricia, great to have you as well. Okay, so in this first one, when he noticed, so to notice, to spot. Ah, there it is. That's to spot. To detect, you go around looking for clues. To realize means you understand something. Yeah. Spot is to see something, but you don't necessarily realize it. And then to observe is to watch something over a period of time. For example, you look at space in an observatory. You observe the stars. Okay, and spotted for Patricia as well. Good. Who reported being so. To turn away, go away, you can't come in. I'm not going to allow you in. You haven't got a ticket. And also without for. To turn off, well, you turn off the light, or maybe something turns you off, you really don't like it. Yeah, to clock. Okay. To turn down, to reject. He turned down my offer. My application was turned down. Good morning, Lily. Great to have you. Probably you're west of me. Good afternoon. Okay. Reported being. So to turn apart, you don't turn apart, and to turn out is to appear for an event. So so far 19 people have turned out for this class. Okay, so to turn down, to reject. My application was turned down. Yeah, no, you can't have it. That's to turn down, to say no. To turn away, go away, you haven't got a ticket, you can't come in. Yeah, particularly to turn somebody away at the door. To clock, meaning to spot or to notice. Very good, Vitali. Yeah, I clocked some people going into the restaurant. Okay, that sounds pretty good. Not only, it could be sexual preferences, particularly turn on. Yeah, so, I don't know, but things can turn you off. So the, I don't know, the idea of spending all day in class turns me off. It doesn't, it's not necessarily uniquely sexual preferences, Jake. Hey, to turn away from sin. Thank you, Slad. Okay, and Massimo, great to have you. Okay. Still, however slow progress has been, Sharma believes from her work with companies that there is now at least some interest in dealing with this form of bias. I think people suddenly realize this is you can tell I wrote this last week, 0 article, A and the root for discrimination that they're not really conscious of. Okay, so still, however, it doesn't matter how slow progress has been. Sharma believes from her work with companies that there is now at least some interest in tackling this form of bias. I think people suddenly realize this is a root, the root, root 0 article, or a and the. Good morning, Adej. Great to have you. Jake says has been and a root. And Vibes, good morning as well. Ronan goes for both. Okay, so this is quite a good one. I like these ones with articles. So if we look at this first one, so however, it doesn't matter how, has been a and the. Okay, I like that. So Natalia goes for has been, A and the. Um, to clock meaning to notice. Ah, okay. Vitali says has been and A and the. Okay. So if you look at this one, still, this word still really invites a very clear tense. Has and A for Lydia. Okay. I quite like this second question. Has been for Joanne Lim. Hi Manji, great to have you. Has been an A for vibes. This is quite good. Okay, so let's look at it. Still. Still means something that started in the past and continues up to now and is continuing in the future. It's got to be has been. Whoops. Has been. Let's see. Still really, really, really cries out for a present perfect. Yeah? So however slow the progress has been until now, Sharma believes from her work with companies that there is now at least some interest in tackling this form of bias. I think people suddenly realise this is a route for discrimination, one of many, the route for discrimination. There's only one that they're not really conscious of. Zero article doesn't work. Okay, this is route 4. No, it's not. With no article, it doesn't work. So if you look at this, A says only one. Sorry, A says not. Say A says one of various that exist, and the says there is only one. I think in this case there are. Okay, Massimo goes for the. Unfinished time, hence why present perfect. Yep. Okay, unfinished time is the meaning of present perfect. So if there's only one discrimination that they're not really conscious of, which is possible, then the is possible. I think A is a better answer. Yeah, because I think there are various routes that they're not really conscious of. But technically both A and the are possible. I like A more. So, good morning, Malak. Great to have you. Okay, and that's the end. So, has been for Patricia. Okay, we're going to start on a new article, which is brilliant. This one is about how self-deception. So, Manji goes has been and A. Those are my favourite answers, Manji. Okay, this new article is about how self-deception allows people to lie. So self-deception is when you when you trick yourself. Yeah? So self-deception can fool, fraud, bluff, swindle us into believing our own lies, and even make us more convincing. Okay, so self-deception can fool us, can fraud us, can bluff us, can swindle us. Okay, so okay, so we've got fool for Vitali, for Natalia, and for Jake, and for vibes as well. And Patricia says fool or bluff. Can fool for Juan Lim, fool for Manji, fool us for Lily. Okay, so as Patricia, fool or deceive, yes, can deceive us into believing. I like that. And Lydia goes bluff and Adage goes fool. Okay, not fraud, not swindle. So to swindle is when you take somebody's money by tricking them. And fraud as a verb, fraud is a noun. Yeah, to commit fraud, they committed fraud. Yeah, so what is this word to bluff? So to bluff is to pretend something is true and maintain it's true, even though it isn't. You could call somebody's bluff. Yes, Manji, deceive would work very well, definitely. Yeah, and the same for Slipknot as well. Yeah. To cloud our judgment, can cloud our judgment and make us believe. So to fool, to trick somebody, yes, to fool for Ronan as well. Okay, that's lovely. So to call somebody's bluff, yeah, show me that what you're saying is true. He said he told me in Spanish that he spoke really good English, so I called his bluff and started speaking with him in English. Okay, so to bluff is to pretend or maintain something is true when it's not actually true. You can bluff in poker as well. You pretend you've got a really good hand, and in fact you've got absolutely nothing. So to fool, to trick somebody, to deceive somebody, definitely. Yeah. Okay, I quite like that. Okay, so you can fool people if you say the right things. Yeah, some people are easy to fool. I find it difficult to fool most of you because these questions because your English is good. So the media today is full of people who've lived a lie. There is Elizabeth Holmes, the biotech undertaker, adventurer, fixer, entrepreneur, who in 2050 was declared the youngest and richest self-made female billionaire. Now she faces 20 years in prison for fraud. For fraud, the noun. Okay, so questions. What does an undertaker do? And what does a fixer do? And while we're at it, probably what does an entrepreneur do as well? I think an adventurer is easy. An adventurer is somebody who goes on adventures, who goes to interesting places. Okay, so yeah, we've got entrepreneur for Vitali, for Jake, and for Manji. So what does an undertaker do, and what does a fixer do? Yeah, entrepreneur for Slipknot. Biotech adventurer. Funny and scary at the same time. Okay, an undertaker takes some challenges. No, very definitely not. There is a profession, undertaker. Yeah, what does an undertaker do? Okay, so Lydia goes for adventurer. For me, an adventurer is somebody who goes on really interesting trips. Yes. So Natalia and Vitali, very good. The undertaker is a mortician. He buries bodies. He's a mortician. A fixer is your plumber or mechanic, I guess, says Jake. Juan Lim goes for entrepreneur. Undertaker fixes you when you're dead. Yeah, he makes you look pretty and puts you in the box. Okay, but notice I put this here because we've got the verb to undertake, meaning to do. He undertook a difficult challenge. Yes. Undertaker, as Manji says, is related to funerals. A fixer is a person who fixes things, who resolves problems. So your plumber or your mechanic is definitely a fixer. Yes. Okay, and Patricia says entrepreneur, and Slipknot says the undertaker deals with funeral details, and an entrepreneur for Ronan as well. That's very good. So those of you who said adventurer, you're thinking about to venture or venture capital. Yeah, and I think I think maybe if it said venturer without the ad, it might just work. Yeah, but to an adventurer is somebody who goes to interesting places. So an entrepreneur. Okay, this is somebody who looks for business opportunities to make money. Yeah, an entrepreneur looks for opportunities. Yeah. Okay, COVID's been a bio-adventure. It's been a bio-nightmare, perhaps. Okay, so an entrepreneur is somebody looking for business opportunities or opportunities to make money. Entrepreneur for Lily as well. Startups, jobs of the entrepreneur. Yeah, or for venture startups for venture capital. Yeah. Okay. There's Anna Sorokin, aka also known as Anna Delvey, who pretended to be a German heiress, so she was going to inherit lots of money, and subsequently extorted, fleeced, swiped, heisted New York's high society of hundreds of thousands of dollars. And Simon Hayut, aka Simon Leviev, the so-called Tinder swindler, tries to give society what it doesn't have. Okay, yeah, that's good for the entrepreneur. Okay, so there's Anna Sorokin, aka Anna Delvey, who pretended to be a German heiress. She's going to inherit loads of money from a rich family, and subsequently extorted, fleeced, swiped, heisted New York's high society of hundreds of thousands of dollars. Okay, so we've got fleeced for Vitali, fleeced for Natalia, the same for Manji, Jake's gone for heisted. So, let's see. What is the basic meaning of a fleece? Entrepreneur, entree. Yes, I think he's looking for openings in markets. And I think that's the idea, Slipknot. He's looking for places where he can enter new markets. Okay, so we've also got fleeced for Lily and extorted for Patricia. Extortion is done by force, I believe. That's very good, George Washington. Shame on Sorokina. Extortion is not normally you need to buy insurance from me, otherwise my friends are going to burn your business. That's extortion. Normally to extort money with menaces, either with force or with threats of force. Okay, thank you very much, Vitali. Yes, a fleece is the woolly coat of a sheep. Yeah, and then fleeced for Lydia and Juan Lim. Okay, but we have this verb to fleece somebody, to swindle somebody. Yeah, so I went to play poker with my friends and they fleeced me. They took all my money. Okay, so to fleece, to take all of somebody's money, normally in a rather dodgy or not very honest way. To extort is to normally to threaten violence. Yeah. Extorting money with menaces. Oh, GW, I like this. Slipknot goes for fleeced, and he's got the sheep as well. And heist is like an armed robbery. Yes, we don't normally use heist as a verb. To heist, they heisted. I think you probably can actually, but a heist is normally an armed robbery where you go into a bank or a jeweler's and you steal money. Heist is normally from a business. So I'm thinking of Ronnie Biggs and the Great Train Robbery. This was a heist. Wouldn't touch her with a barge pole. Very dodgy. I love that word dodgy, and I love this phrase, not touch with a barge pole. Jason and the Golden Fleece, as Manji says. That's great. Yeah. Okay, Patricia, only fleeced, not heisted. Heisted is where you go and you steal something either from a bank or somewhere secure. Okay, so yes, fleece, to swindle. To swindle people out of lots of money. No, you're not, Patricia. So, to extort. Give me money or my boys are going to beat you up. To fleece, to take people's money. But a fleece is also the hair of the sheep. To swipe is to steal. To steal something from a shop. He swiped a bottle of whiskey from the supermarket. Yeah, to take and get rid of. He heisted New York's. So a heist, like a jewelry heist or a bank robbery. He heisted New York's high society of hundreds of thousands of dollars. I think with heist, I would say he heisted she heisted hundreds of thousands of dollars from New York's high society. Notice, a jewelry heist, yeah? A heist of hundreds of thousands of dollars from. Okay, it's okay, P. Okay, so that's why I'm not very happy with heist. Fleeced is a much better example. Yeah, to fleece the punters, to fleece the people, very definitely. Okay, and we're going to have another one coming now. Do you associate fleece with cutting sheep's wool? No, the verb, believe it or not, Jake, is to shear a sheep. This means to cut off the fleece. Yeah. Fleece covered with sheep hair. Okay. Fobbed off. No, it's not fobbed off. You've got the wrong meaning. To steal from in that case. So what marks all of these people is not just the lies that they told, but the lies they must have told themselves. They each believed their actions were somehow justifiable, and against all odds, chances, shots, luck, believed they would never be found out. No, a major territorial accomplishment. You need to change the position of major and accomplishment for learn. Okay, so Vitali says odds, Vibe says odds, Joanne Lim says odds. it needs to be plural, not against the odd. It's got to be odds plural, because otherwise odd on its own means strange as an adjective. Okay, so odds for Juan Lim, for Manji, and for Natalia. To the shorn Lamb of God tempers the wind. Against all odds, good Ronan. Against all odds, says Juan Lim. Lydia says odds. Patricia says odds. Ronan says odds. Boris says chances. Fleece is like pelage. Okay, pelage. That's quite an unusual word, Vibes, but yes. Okay. Meurt. Meurt. But that's French, Manji. Dies. Meurt. I think Patricia would do it better than me. Okay, meurt. Meurt. Cœur. Meurt. Yes, definitely. As luck would have it. Or, okay, as bad luck would have it. I like that phrase. A verb like to scam, to fleece. Good. Okay, so Harshul says odds as well. Good afternoon, Harshul. Okay, so what marks all of these people is not just the lies they told others, but the lies they must have told themselves. They each believed their actions were somehow justifiable, and against all... So this is a collocation. Let's see, I think all chances fits, but it's not the right one. Against all probability. Against all shots, no. Against all luck. As luck would have it, no. Yeah. So, odds talks about the probability. When you bet on a horse, or you go to bet on a match, yeah, you have odds. 3 to 1, 5 to 1. Odds talk about probability, the probability of things happening. And the phrase against all odds, against the odds. If something is against the odds, it means it's unlikely to happen. So against the odds, he was successful and they didn't turn him down. Ah, that's interesting. That's interesting, Manji. Okay, so let's try one more of these. Yeah. Okay, so against all odds. So all of the odds were against it. Yeah, but you can do something against all odds is despite the fact that the probability says no. So against all odds, he was successful. Yeah, I managed to do it against all odds. So the probability said that I wasn't going to be successful, but I succeeded against the odds, against all odds. Despite adversity. I like that, Vitaly, as well. I think they both fit for learn. Time and again, they personally seem to deny reality and dragged, crawled, trailed, poked, lugged others into their scams. Stray shots, random shots. Yeah, ricochets, Patricia. Okay, so a stray shot. Yeah, definitely not. So we've got dragged for Vibes, for Vitaly, for Juan Lim, for Patricia as well. Time and again, they personally seem to deny reality and dragged, crawled, trailed, poked, lugged others into their scams. So we've also got dragged for Natalia, for Jake, and for Ronan as well. To trail behind, dragged for Lydia as well, and dragged for Manji. That's lovely. And dragged for Lily. That's good. Okay, so let's see. Let's look at these verbs. To crawl. To crawl is to walk on all fours, to walk like a baby on your hands and knees. Yeah? So to walk but not standing up, to crawl across the floor. Yeah? You can poke somebody in the ribs, as Patricia said. I poked the person next to me. Yeah? To use something long and thin to push at somebody, to poke. To trail means to hang behind. So, yeah, the tail of an animal normally trails behind it. Yeah. And then the final one, to lug, means to carry something heavy. I'm sure you've seen the word luggage, because that's something you've got to lug. Something heavy that you've got to carry. But to drag means to pull along the floor. Yeah, a dress-hugging silhouette. So, dragged. To drag somebody into something, yeah, is to pull them into, to suck them into it. A dig or a poke in the ribs, a dig in the ribs, that works quite well. So crawl on all fours, to trail, to something that hangs behind, that drags behind. Yeah, to poke with your finger, to lug, to carry something heavy, but to drag something into something else. So if you try to intervene between your friends when they're arguing, very often you get dragged into the argument. You get sucked into it. You get pulled into it. Lug, yes, yeah. It's quite informal as well, Natalia. Yeah. Mistook lug for hug. Ha, okay, to lug, to carry something heavy. Yeah. Okay, yeah, because you have to lug your luggage about. So that's where I am going to stop today. Thank you all for coming. Let me put a little mark here. The freedom of a country serves its high value and materials. I'm not very happy about that for learn. Lug a body into the wall, very definitely. I'm not entirely sure what you're meaning with serves. The freedom of a country is at the because materials as well. I'm not at all happy with that for learn. So thank you, Natalia. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you, Juan Lim. Thank you for coming, Vitaly. It's been wonderful to have you. Thank you, Vibes. Thank you, Lily. Thank you, Manji. Thank you, Lydia. Thank you, Ronan. Thank you, Jake. Thank you, Manisko. I remember you were there. Thank you, Harshul. And thank you, Boris, as well. And thank you, Lydia. And I hope I said thank you to everyone. I think maybe I have. Thank you, George Washington, as well. Thank you, Slipknot. Thank you, Manisko. Hello, Mild. Great to have you. Thank you, GW. Thank you, Ronan. C'est mon plaisir, Patricia. It's okay, Raj. You can watch the recording. Thank you, Vibes. Thank you, Lily. The same to you. Okay, and thank you for coming, Boris. It's been great to have you. So, let's see. When's the next class? Yeah. Next class on Thursday, 30th of June at 4 p.m. UK time. Okay, so thank you all for coming, and I hope to see you on Thursday. Take care. Bye bye.